Hi, welcome to 17wanzy's introduction for Coup by Indie Boards and Cards. Coup is a game for 2 to 6 players that plays in only about 15 minutes. It's a simple game with straightforward mechanics that mostly relies on the players bluffing their way through those. At the beginning of the game, every player will get 1 reference sheet and 2 influence cards, as well as 2 coins. On your turn, you can take 1 single action before the turn passes to the next player. The reference sheet tells you every action possible, so let's just go through them. Firstly, you can take income, which means you take 1 coin from the bank. Straightforward enough. If you take foreign aid, it means you take 2 coins from the bank instead. If you're asking yourself why anyone would choose to take only 1 instead of 2, well, we'll get to that. If you can pay 7 coins to the bank, you can perform a coup, the game's namesake, in order to force another player to lose one of their influence cards. Lose both of these cards and you're out of the game. The next action is tax, which is to take all of 3 coins from the bank. Wow! But you'll notice there's something different about this one. This action belongs to the Duke, which means that if you take the tax action, you are claiming that one of your remaining influence cards is the Duke. That might not be true. But unless someone else is willing to call you on your bluff, you can continue on as if it were. We'll get back to bluffing later. The next action is Assassinate, which is basically a discount coup. You pay only 3 coins, and you still get to choose another player to lose influence. What a deal! True to the name, it belongs to the assassin character, meaning you are claiming to have an assassin card when you use this action. If you choose to exchange, you may look at the top 2 cards of the deck of leftover influence cards, called the court deck. You may then trade any, all, or none of your active influence cards with the 2 cards you drew, and shuffle the leftovers back into the court deck. This is the ambassador's action. Steal is an obvious one. Choose another player and take 2 of their coins. This action is for those claiming to have a captain card. This might be a good time to mention counteractions, because 2 different characters have the ability to block a steal. If your target claims to have either an ambassador or a captain himself, he can completely negate your action this turn. Likewise, anyone claiming the Duke can block you if you try to take foreign aid, which we discussed is way better than income. The last card to discuss is the Contessa, who actually has no action, only a counter action. The Contessa can block the Assassinate action for you, which is likely to save your life. It's worth mentioning that the Contessa cannot block a coup, only the discounted Assassinate. You can play this game without bluffing ever, only telling the truth, but bluffing is really the point of the game, and you never want others to know what you really have. Anytime someone claims to have a card, anyone who is still in the game can accuse them of lying. Once an accusation has been made, the supposed bluffer must reveal an active influence card. The card will show if that player was telling the truth or not. If the player was indeed lying, that card will stay face up because the player has lost that influence card. If the player was telling the truth, and the revealed card is exactly what they claim to have, the card gets shuffled back into the court deck, and the innocent player gets a new card to replace it. Whatever action or counteraction they were trying to take goes through as normal. In addition, the accusing player loses one of their cards instead. This is the risk of calling out a bluff. The Assassinate action deserves some special notice here. If you are being assassinated, there are 2 ways that you can lose both of your influence cards at once.
Double kill!
If you call out the assassin and it turns out they actually had one, you will lose a card for being wrong about that, and then you will get assassinated, losing your other one. If you instead bluff and claim to have a Contessa to block the assassin, but someone calls you out on it, you will lose a card for lying, and then you will get assassinated, losing the other one. Getting targeted for assassination puts you in a potentially difficult position, which is what makes it one of the most fun things to bluff about. There are a total of 15 cards in the game, with 3 of each character. Use this information to help you deduce what your opponents are holding. As the game goes on, all cards lost by other players will be displayed face up for all to see, letting you narrow down the remaining cards. The game continues until only 1 player has any influence cards remaining, making him or her the winner. I mentioned before, but your best weapon in this game is mystery, and you never want the other players to know for certain what cards you have. It's up to you how to do that. Thanks for watching, and make sure to check out more videos on 17wanzy.com, including our gameplay video.